I'm back. So today I wanted to make a video just talking a little bit about what I use to bleach my hair at home. Because I know, whenever I tell people that I do my hair at home, I always get a lot of questions about like, how do I do it? How do I avoid damage and stuff like that. And so I thought I would just make a short video talking a little bit about, what products I use and a little bit about the process. I don't really have the equipment to be able to film myself actually doing it, so I was just going to talk through it. But hopefully, this will be helpful to those of you who, either already do your hair at home or are thinking of bleaching your hair at home. And so, before we start, I just want to kind of, I guess, preface or disclaimer a little bit is that I'm obviously not a professional. This is all just from my personal experience, like trial and error. I have been to the salon a few times and I just felt like doing it at home saved so much more money and I could get like similar results to what I was getting in the salon. So I think honestly, unless you're willing to spend like, hundreds of dollars on your hair to get like really professional results, it's definitely worth considering doing it at home if you're on a budget, but you still want, to have colored hair. And then the other thing that I will say is that obviously, this is what works for my hair type. I have hair that is on like the finer, thinner side. I am naturally have black hair. So obviously, if you're combing your natural hair is a different, thickness or color, or if it's drier or whatever, then different things will work for you. So this is just what works for me. But yeah, so I'm gonna just talk about what I actually use to bleach my hair. So I use the Wella Color Charm lightener set, I guess. So I have the powder lightener, and this comes in this tub, and it comes with a little scoop in it, and you can just get, all of these things that I mentioned. I will list in the description box, but you can basically find everything either on Amazon or like at CVS or something. So this is the powder lightener, and so when I bleach my roots, I use about 2 scoops of this, and I mix it with the Wella 20 volume cream developer. And I always use 20 volume, which is, so you can get different strengths of developer. There's 10, 20, 30, 40. 20 is like on the gentler side. So I definitely recommend this, especially if you're new to bleaching or you have thinner hair. It'll just, like I find that it's basically, as effective as I need it to be, and there's less damage. And so I mix these two together, and I just use like a plastic, like takeout container, and then this brush that I got as a set, and I just mix it together until I get like a very thick consistency. And then what I always do is I mix a little bit of conditioner to help dilute the bleach a little bit and to protect my hair while it's processing. And you can use whatever conditioner you happen to be using, or you can use like a cheap conditioner, like a Tresemme one or something. I just use like whatever's on hand basically. And so I mix that up, and then I just apply it to my roots. I usually start from the back of my head. I'm using like a hand mirror because I do this by myself, and then I just work my way up to like the top of my head and then down to the sides. That's just what works for me because I'm doing this by myself. I don't really have anyone helping me. If you do have a friend helping you, that can make it a lot easier, because applying to your back of your head is obviously really difficult when you're by myself. But I've been doing it for quite a while now. I've been bleaching my hair for about 4 years. And so I figured out what works for me. So, whatever you're able to do, I would recommend getting a friend if you, or like a family member if you can though. And then while I'm waiting for my bleach to process in my hair, I also usually take like a plastic bag, like just like a grocery bag, and I just wrap it around my head. You can also use like a disposable shower cap or something. And this just helps keep the bleach from drying out and also helps trap the heat around your head so that your bleach can process a little faster. And this is very similar to, you know, what they would do for you in the salon anyways. But you can just grab, like, I just grab like an old grocery bag and I just kind of clip it or tie it at the back of my head, and that helps you know, keep things from drying out. So that's what I use to bleach my hair. And I always make sure to do my roots about every month or so. It depends on how fast your hair grows, but when my roots grow out to about like an inch or so, that's like as far as I let it go, because any more than that and you're gonna get, you know, like a band, because the hair closest to your scalp is going to process faster because of the heat from your skin. But that effect only extends out, you know, about like a centimeter to an inch off your head. And so any farther than that, then you're going to have different lightening speeds. And so you really don't want to wait too long if you're trying to maintain like a certain hair color. I also want to mention that I always make sure to bleach my hair at least a couple days after the last time I've shampooed, because I want the oils on my scalp to build up and help protect my scalp from, you know, being, you know, burned basically by the bleach. With the 20 volume, honestly, you don't really get much of a burning sensation in my experience. It's just kind of like, it's really more just like a tingling feeling compared to like 30 volume, which in my experience like actually really does burn. But regardless, having natural oils already sitting on your scalp really helps limit the damage, because you're ultimately you're not bleaching your scalp, you're trying to bleach your hair, right? So you don't really want your scalp to be that affected. Another thing to do is if you're for some reason really in a rush and you just really want to get your hair done that day, is to just take like a oil that you have for your hair already and just apply it to your scalp. And that can protect it a little bit as well. I know some people like to use coconut oil for this, or maybe apply it like the night before as well for it to really sink in. But I always make sure just to wait and let, you know, my natural oils do the job for me. So yeah, so that's what I use to bleach my hair. And then I'll also mention what I use for hair care. So right after I bleach my hair, I wash it out, and then I apply a hair mask. And I recently bought this from L'Oreal, the Elvive, I don't know how to pronounce that, and it's their Total Repair 5 Damage Erasing Balm. And I got this because it says it has protein in it, which to help your hair kind of heal from damage, it's best to use like a protein based treatment and also a moisturizing one, like in conjunction with each other. And so this is the one that I picked up. Before I was using, I'll also show you, I was using their Evercream Nourishing Butter, also from L'Oreal. And this is also pretty good. But I picked this one up just because I wanted to try out a new product. And this one, I've only used it once, but it seems pretty good so far, and it also smells really nice. So I slathered this all over my hair after I wash out my bleach. And I leave it in there for, you know, as long as I can stand. And then I make sure to wash it out very well. And I don't shampoo my hair after I bleach because the bleach strips, you know, out all the oils from my scalp anyway. So I feel like it's not really necessary. And then after I come out of the shower and I dry my hair, I always apply argan oil. And this is one that I got actually from a salon in Korea. But you can use, you know, any oil that you like. I know some people like to use like coconut oil or like jojoba oil, or, you know, whatever, some type of protected oil to help lock in the moisture into your hair. And yeah, and so that's basically my process. It's pretty simple. In terms of, you know, kind of regular hair care, I wash my hair every 3 days. You'll probably find, at least in my experience, is that your hair gets a lot drier once you've bleached it. And so you really don't need to wash your hair as often. And so when I do, I use products from the Ever Cream or Ever Pure line. So this is the Deep Nourish shampoo, and this is the blonde conditioner. I've tried some other, they have a bunch of different ones, like they've got like moisture, or I forget, like some ones that are specifically for curly hair. But these are nice because they're sulfate free, so they don't strip your hair of oils, which, you know, you really need them once your hair starts getting dry. And so I really recommend this line, and you can get this at like CVS or Stop and Shop. And yeah, and then so the last thing that I'll mention is what I use to color my hair. So recently I've been keeping my hair just like the blonde color that I get just from bleaching it, because I like this color and it's, you know, the lowest maintenance basically, because I don't have to do anything to maintain it. But if you are interested in coloring your hair, which I have done, I've done, you know, a bunch of different pastel colors in the past. The best thing to do, in my opinion, that's the most cost effective, is to buy just a bottle of hair dye, and I use Adore hair dye. So I'll show you. So for example, this is what I was using to dye my hair pastel pink. And so what I do is I just buy like a very saturated, deep version of the color that I'm looking to get. And so hot pink, you know, it's like a very bright, saturated pink color. And then I just dilute it in conditioner, you know, enough conditioner to cover my whole head. And I just add enough of this to get to the color I want, or maybe a little bit darker, because to account for the fading. And then you just use that as a hair dye, and it doesn't damage your hair because it's basically just colored conditioner. And so that's a really easy way to color your hair. And then if you want, you can even make like a big batch of the colored conditioner and just keep it in your shower for when you wash your hair. And that's an easy way to maintain the hair color. Oh, sorry, it just got really dark. And then on a similar note, if you're not interested in dyeing your hair a specific color and you just want to tone it, I know a lot of people, when they bleach their hair, they don't want the yellow tones. They want to have more of like a platinum color. What you can do is, again, take conditioner and add a couple drops of like a lavender or a violet, because that is the opposite color to yellow on the color wheel. And so if you make basically like a very light violet conditioner, then that will cancel out the yellowness in your hair. And I've done this before and it works really well. You just end up with like a very nice kind of like soft white hair color. And that's an easy way to tone your hair without buying a purple shampoo, because those, in my experience, can be a little expensive and also can be kind of drying. And so I find that the conditioner method is a lot more effective for me. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. I actually filmed this video once before, but I was like rambling like a crazy person. So hopefully this was like a nice, concise video. And, you know, again, I'm not a professional. If you really are worried about risking your hair's health, I would definitely say, you know, put the money to go to like a good salon, because if you go to like, you know, a bad salon, you're really gonna fry your hair probably more than you could if you did it at home, in my experience. And don't expect your hair to be, you know, as healthy as it was when it was not bleached or not chemically treated, because, you know, that's just not possible. You are going to experience, you know, some level of, you know, dryness or damage or breakage, but just, you know, take it easy. Don't over bleach your hair. You know, be okay with not having like the lightest super color that you can get, because, you know, you don't want your hair to be falling out and stuff like that. But this is what has worked for me. And like I said, I've been doing this for a couple years, and, you know, my hair definitely is a lot drier, and, you know, I experienced more breakage than I did when my hair was untouched. But to me, it's like an acceptable level to get the color that I want, and this is what works for me. So hopefully this was at least somewhat helpful to anyone interested in bleaching their hair at home. And if you have any further questions about how I do my hair or how I take care of it and stuff like that, just leave a comment and I will obviously answer it to the best of my ability. And I will see you in my next video.